What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are currently on the test server, guys. We're gonna have a look at the brand new fusion, the new legendary champion, the almighty Ukko, the new Skinwalker legendary, guys. Props to Plarium. Hopefully, all the fusions that you're gonna do in the future, Plarium, hopefully they're all gonna be at this caliber. This is a pretty solid champion all around. I really like the kit on this fusion champion. Mighty Ukko. These are the base stats on the champion, guys. I know a lot of people were kind of like curious what sort of base stats we have. 18,400 HP, 1.2k attack, 1.1k defense, 109 speed, basic crit rate, crit damage, 30 resistance, 10 accuracy. Yes, is a bit more on the low side of the stats in terms of HP and defense for a support champion if you're comparing it with another one. If we're having a look at the kit, that kind of like, okay, let's just say we agree with it. But let's have a look at the champion. The weapon looks pretty cool, right? Look at the backpack. The animations are actually pretty awesome. You're gonna get to see them in just a bit. Kind of have like some sort of a drink in there. I'm not even sure what exactly it is. Then we have these things at the front here as well, kind of like in the advertisement almost, but there are a couple of balls tied up to the bag, you know. Design wise, the champion looks awesome, pretty interesting, pretty funny. Now I have him built, or have her built, I'm not even sure. I have the champion built on a stun set and a perception. Total stats on the champion: 77k HP, 2.5k attack, 2.9k defense, 237 speed, 458 accuracy. Not much resistance. I haven't really went for it. In terms of masteries, I went with defense and support 3, fearsome presence. Now this build is not going to be used in the Hydra clan boss. One thing to keep in mind, when I'm going to use the champion on the Hydra clan boss, I'm going to change the build, and that's only going to be once I'm going to get back from my vacation. So when they're going to release the fusion in the game, that's going to be in exactly 1 week from today. That's when I'm going to make a guide on the Hydra. So probably the day when I'm going to get back, that's when we're going to try Mighty Ukko in the Hydra. So you guys get to see how powerful is the champion, you know. Basically, that's kind of like what we have in terms of masteries. Fearsome presence. We went for the support tree. Now, it's all about the skills, right? The A1 has a chance to land decrease attack AoE. Fully booked goes to a 75% chance. That's pretty nice. And have the stun set on, CC on Faction Wars, CC on Doom Tower if we need to use the champion there. I don't really need the champion in the Doom Tower, but I just want to kind of like give you guys an idea of how you can use the champion. So AoE on the A1, AoE on the A2. Each hit removes 2 random buffs from the target. Basically, 2 hits, 4 buffs removed. Places block buffs and decrease accuracy for 2 turns on targets that have no buffs after the attack. Very powerful for Hydra. I feel like if we're thinking about Ukko, right? Ukko, she's a very awesome champion for block buffs for Hydra. I feel like Mighty Ukko is gonna replace Ukko. We're gonna have block buffs, decrease accuracy, which will allow us to control the Head of Mischief even more because of the decreased accuracy. In case if anything goes wrong, in case if somebody's gonna buff, in case if the Head of Mischief is still gonna manage to steal some buffs, you can always remove the buffs as well with this skill, which is awesome stuff. So it's not like you're gonna have to worry, well, the Head of Mischief just spreaded immunity to the entire group. I cannot land my block buffs with Ukko now, you know? So you're not gonna have to worry about that part anymore. You have attack down. It's true, you don't have defense down. But having attack down and block buffs on the same kit, plus remove buffs, decrease accuracy, increase speed, speed aura, having the passive, being able to revive if needed, you're going to be able to bring in a different champion for defense down. Like so many options. You can bring in a Venus now. You can bring in a Stag Knight. You can bring in a different champion if needed. I just gave you an example with Stag Knight. Probably you don't need a Stag Knight with Mighty Ukko in there. But just as an idea, you're going to be able to bring in somebody else for defense down that can do damage as well, or can give you some sort of a different benefit, you know, have some different benefits on the team with it. So that is pretty much with the situation with the A2. The A3, this is on a 4-turn cooldown, fully booked, as we assumed, and revives all dead allies with 40% HP, then places a block damage buff on them for 1 turn, places increased speed buff on allies for 2 turns. So we're going to be able to place increased speed even if there are no dead allies. We need 2 books in this skill, we need 4 books in here, and 4 books in here. So that makes up to a total of 10 books. The passive, it has no cooldown. Has a 50% chance of stealing 1 random buff from an enemy each time they receive a buff. Any stolen buffs become protected. Now, I'm gonna show you how the passive works. I'm a bit confused. It kind of feels like it has cooldown, even though it says it doesn't have a cooldown, or it's just the RNG. It only selects 1 single target out of an entire team. I'm not sure how they're prioritizing the target that gets selected. I'm a bit confused, but I'm going to take this champion in arena in a team that buffs a lot. And we're going to have a look and see what we can actually figure out of it, you know. 20% speed aura for all battles. Very, very good speed aura as well. So all around is definitely a very solid fusion. First, I'm going to take this champion into Faction Wars because I feel like everybody needed to have some strong support for this faction. Considering that we have this one available now, it should be much, much better, right? So we're going to go right here. How I mentioned before, I am on the test server. That's why I have access to all these. If anybody was curious, that's the reason why. We're going to use the speed aura. We're going to be able to bring in tons of damage now because we have a reviver. We don't really care about it. Plus, we have the stuns from the champion too. You want to see the animations now? So let's start with the A1. This is the animation. Splash. So basically, whatever we have here on our backpack, that's the drink that gets splashed on everybody. Wait till I'm going to show you the animation of the other skill, which is pretty interesting as well. I don't want to kill the entire wave. Still, we don't have the animation here, you know. Okay, so there we go. Check out the second animation. It's like chucking the whole bottle out of it, you know. There we go. One splash, splash. Pretty nice animations as well. Stuns from the stun set, block buffs on everybody, decrease accuracy on everybody. Beautiful, right? I like seeing that. And then we're gonna get increased speed if needed. I'm kind of like, don't use that skill, you know. Don't use the increased speed because you might have to revive the turn after, you know. There we go again. Block buffs on everybody. Bye bye Paragon. Forget about putting that unkillable on yourself, you know. This is gonna be a pretty nice champion for this sort of situation. Waves, Doom Tower waves if you are struggling because they buff too much or stuff like that. I feel like it's definitely gonna be a nice addition, you know, to pretty much everyone's team. Early game, mid game, end game. I'm definitely gonna use this champion in Hydra like crazy. Now, because of the way of how the passive works, which I'm not 100% sure, it might be a bug right now on the test server. Is a big possibility as well. But we're gonna get to try it out and see in arena, kind of like to show you the passive. I'm not gonna take it in the Doom Tower because you just need to put on your own champions, own support, or own DPS, sorry, more debuffers for defense down, and you've done pretty much the Doom Tower waves, you know. It's just kind of like to show you here in Faction Wars where it matters, because that's what we needed for such a long time, a good support for this faction, and we finally have it, you know. There we go, the revive, increased speed, block damage only on the revived champion. So if other champions are alive, they're not gonna get the block damage. Okay, transfers. Let's go. We should be able to destroy the boss before he's gonna get HP from anyone. Okay, there we go. Block buffs, decrease accuracy. Oh, right at the limit. Unbelievable. Okay, right at the limit. Give me that increased speed. You see, right now, the HP on so many champions is pretty damn low. I would prefer not to have that revive skill being used just randomly like this, because it would have come in handy better now. But it's fine. A lot of champions do that. Arbiter, Gorgora, pretty much all of them do it. I don't know why. It just seems to be like a Plarium thing to put this on the champions. It's good to have the increased speed sometimes, though. So I guess if you want to use the champion just for the increased speed, you have the option available, you know. But there we go. Ukko, not a lot of damage, no healing, no shield because the champion doesn't do any of them, but it managed to kind of like carry the team, and it's gonna carry your team, you know. So if you're really struggling, maybe consider a regeneration set on Ukko. That might be a pretty good option. Now, how I mentioned, we're not gonna go in the Doom Tower, guys. Let's go against Chofli here and see what sort of buffs we're gonna manage to steal. We don't want to have a team that buffs too much because it's gonna get confusing to see what we're having. So these are the buffs that I have on the champion, you see. Those are protected. And right now we just stole increased speed from one champion and it got protected. So if I'm looking around who doesn't have increased speed, that's Duchess, right? But only one buff, and look how many buffs the team got. So I'm not sure how exactly the passive works. It describes from one champion, right? It says steals a buff from an enemy. Does that mean that out of 4 enemies, just one of them gets picked? What's the process behind it? How do we select the enemy? What exactly selects it? Is the lead? Is not the lead? Because in other fights that I've tried was not only the lead, okay? So that's why I know it's not the lead. Is there some sort of a cooldown to steal them after again? Or what exactly is gonna happen, basically, you know? But look at that. Block buffs. We stole so many buffs from them. Stun on that candy. Pretty nice. I'm waiting for Duchess to buff now. You see, we haven't stolen nothing this time around. And 2 champions got buffed there. So I find it a bit confusing because I'm not sure how exactly it works, you know? Okay, if we go in a different fight, let's go in a different fight again. So this time around, let's go against somebody that has more buffs. Farp stuff. So we have more buffs on this team. And then I'm gonna read the passive again. Okay, so that's what we have. Okay, Mitrala just buffed. We haven't managed to steal nothing, right? Literally nothing from her. I'm actually gonna use this. Just for the fun of it. I want them all to buff. We haven't got any buffs from nobody, see? So 50% chance, and look how many buffs they landed. So I feel like the passive just sounded amazing. I feel like it might be bugged. It's just, it doesn't mention exactly how it works, and it just seems to me like it's bugged, like nothing happens. Look at all those buffs. 4 allies, 4 enemies with 5+ buffs on each one of them, and we haven't managed to steal not even one, you know? 50% chance. Like, I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I feel like something is not working properly with the champion. But let's have another quick look at the passive, just to kind of like make it a bit more clear for whoever was curious or whoever might have doubts, kind of like in the same situation like me, like what just happened, you know? Where are we? So there we go. Has a 50% chance of stealing one random buff from an enemy each time they receive a buff. So if they receive a buff, that means that I have a chance to steal a buff, right? That's what it says right here. So if a champion is gonna receive 3 buffs, that means that I'm gonna have 3 50% chances to steal 1 buff. 1 buff received, 1 chance to steal. 1 buff received, 1 chance to steal. That's what it kind of like translates to me. Now, Plarium, they are known for having a lot of errors in their wording, how they're describing skills and stuff like that. So maybe they've done some sort of mistake here with the way they describe the skill. Or maybe I'm just blind and I just completely don't understand what's written in front of me. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you guys think is happening? You think it's working as intended after seeing it working in Arena the way it did? I personally think that it doesn't, but it doesn't mean that I'm right either, you know? How I mentioned, we're gonna try the champion in the Hydra on the day when it's getting released. I just wanted to show you the champion all around. Base stats, book requirements, skills, how the passive works, how the skills work, just to kind of like give you an idea if you're gonna be able to use the champion. I'm definitely still positive on it. I feel like he's a very, very solid champion. Even without the passive being broken for Arena, is still a very powerful champion all around because of the rest of the kit. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.